And good morning one and all, this is Oliver coming to you again from the beautiful seaside town of Youghal on the southern coast of Ireland over here in Europe. It is another beautiful spring day. It is the 19th of March 2024 and welcome to the Pen Doodling channel. And today, well, it being a Tuesday, I thought I'd try and get something ready for our workshop this afternoon. I thought, what better thing to do than start doing with lines and boxes, and maybe boxes and sitting on top of boxes and things like that. So let's see what we have here now. Now, we've seen designs like this before, but I found a YouTube channel called Random Fun Channel, and he had a couple of embellishments which I thought were quite nice. So let's go through those now. Starting off, just start off with a box, the same as we have done on many occasions before. And this is, I think I'm playing this at just normal speed, but I'll speed it up now in a minute because it does get a bit boring just watching it. However, it is a lovely Zen exercise. You start at a corner, then you go over to the other side and you just go in a little bit and you keep on moving in a little bit more all the time. Now, I like to do this freehand, and I also like very much to move the paper as I'm going. I know some people do it just leaving the paper as it is, and that gives your hand a lot better exercise in going sort of left to right, right to left, up, down and backwards and forwards. That probably is a better way of doing it. But for me, I can just do it this way and forget about what's going on around me in the world. I just get totally engrossed in it. And also, as the box becomes a little smaller, I usually try to make the distance between the lines just a little bit smaller as well, as you'd expect what would happen in a horizon as you're going further and further away. And when I'm doing this, I'm kind of thinking that these are steps going down, that there's 4 sets of steps going down. So then you would expect that as you're looking down, sort of looking down into a hole, it becomes less distinct. Now, this might look very fast, but it's not. I think I'm showing it there at about 3 times normal speed. Now, I think I'm using a 0.1 at this stage, and around the edge I think I used 0.3. Now, quite often I leave the very end white, but this time I thought, no, let's blacken in the whole lot, get down as far as we possibly can. That's it. Now, the idea now is to have another box underneath it. So you won't be able to see all of it because part of it is going to be covered by the box that we've just done. And the idea that we're going to, I'll just do it a little bit stronger now. I think I'm using a 0.3 there for the edge. And again, I'm using freehand to do it, but I did do a line using a ruler. And the reason I used the ruler is because I reckon that for the next phase I couldn't do it freehand. I would need a ruler. And there we go. And that's my head. Half bald. And so this is a bit slower doing it this way, but I've tried this freehand and it never really looked right. I just thought, okay, let's try the ruler and see what it comes out like. And it reminded me of time when I was in school with the Christian brothers, being belted as usual, and quite often I would destroy my copybook. I'd have the ruler out and the biro and just drawing lines like this, filling up pages. And I suppose that in many ways excuse me in many ways that's what doodling is. We seem to like to kill the white space, as if white space is something that we just should not have. We have to get rid of it, and this particular design is great at doing that. Sorry, my head is getting in the way. There is a reason for that. I do have an eyesight problem. I can't see stereoscopically, so when I put down a dot, I can't put the pen back onto it again and line up. I really have to get my left hand eye being able to view it in a couple of different places, so that means my head will always be getting in the way. In many ways is why I prefer to do things freehand and not to be so constrained as this one is. Like, this is very constrained. Lines have to be straight, they have to go a certain way, and while that could be frustrating, all I was thinking about while I was doing this was, there's no rush. Take your time. Don't try and get it finished. Keep the same spaces. Just, have faith and take your time doing it. I think this took the total length of time to do it. There's going to be 3, we'll call them 3 squares. Total length of time it took me to do it was, I think, about 25 minutes, and which means that this video is probably going to be around 12 minutes because I'm doubling the speed now here. Now you'll find it yourself that you won't be able to do all the lines the way you want to. So I hope now you have taken out pen, paper, and a ruler, some sort of a way of doing straight lines, and following along, or at least experimenting with it, because it's only when you do it that you realize what's needed to get it finished. If you just look at something, say, yeah, that's okay, I understand it, I know that, it won't stay in your head. You'll forget about it. So always go out and try it. There we go. So we're now lining up for the final one. Now I changed my mind as I was doing this. So I was going to do it exactly the same as the previous one, where the next one will just brush past the corners of the previous one. But then I thought, let's see what it's like if it doesn't, if it's sticking out just a little bit more. So I think now the first box was about the side of it. I'm just trying to think what it was. Was it about 3 inch, which would be 7.5 centimeters? So I just extended by another centimeter on each side, so that'll be another 2 centimeters altogether. And just to give it a little bit more space. And as well as that, I was thinking what I might do now, have it a little bit more pronounced, that the distance between the lines would decrease a lot more than previously. So I'm just getting rid of the previous outline I had of the square that I was going to draw, because I find if I don't get rid of these, I will use them when I shouldn't. Yeah, decided to, on the outside there, to do a 0.8. Now I think it could have been over a millimeter. I think would have been better to do there, and I might actually go back for another video when I might embellish it with shadows and things like that. I might make the outside one something like a 1.2. Oh good, get your head out of the way. Yep, that's me old bald head, alright. And big thick glasses, that's me. There we go. And I think I highlight the first square as well now. The right hand lens of my glasses, the one that you can see, it's a total waste of time. I had severe cancer in that eye, and it is almost worthless at this stage. Worse than worthless, because the vision that I get in my right eye is totally confusing. I think I'd be better off at a patch there and just ignore it altogether. But sure, it gives my brain something to think about when there's something different coming in from each eye. So I think I started off here 1 centimeter up on the right hand side. Yeah, I did. So as you can see, it is a very simple design, and it is a very simple repeating design, and you'll find this type of design in many Zen doodles or Zentangles. I presume Zentangle, whether they were the first one to do it or not, I don't think so, because I seem to remember doing something like this when I was much younger in school. So it is a very standard one. But I think Random Fun Channel, I like the way that he then incorporated one sitting on top of another, sitting on top of another. I think it gives a nice, yeah, a bit of fun to it. So I might as well ask, how are ye getting on now with your Zen doodling or Zen tangling? Now let me know, comments down below. Always like to hear how people are doing. Group of us meet, we're all beginners at this, we're all chancing our arm, let's say. And we meet in the Yall Library between 3 and 4 every Tuesday. There's not many of us, it's very much beginners. Nice bit of chat goes on when we're not in the Zen mode, and although it can happen that there's a bit of a discussion goes on and one person is totally in the Zen mode, and you could be talking away to him or her and be totally ignored. But we don't take that personally. We know that's what it's all about. The other thing I like about this design is as you go along, you don't really appreciate what the design is. It's only when you stop and then look at it, you see, oh, it's not a load of rubbish. It does actually make sense, and it's a nice one. So this is a lovely one for beginners. Let's be honest, we always like to do something that other people will look at and say, oh, that's nice. Well, as you can see here, this is not hard to do. It just takes an awful lot of patience, and that's what Zen doodling is all about. If you want to do it quickly, if you're in a hurry, this is not for you. There's just no way. Now, I sometimes just do quick designs. I try them out with a biro on a scrap of paper, so they wouldn't be exact. They would be very, very rough. That's okay. But then when you want to just be in the moment, that's when I do these ones. Just something that will take, I want it to take about a half an hour, because I'm sort of saying to myself, right, I need to zone out now for a while and just not think of anything, just concentrate on the pen. Like this. Sketching is another one where you just do mark making. That's when the pen takes over completely. But this is nice. It engages the brain. We're nearly finished. So what do you think? Was it nice? Did you like it? And do you like it enough to subscribe? That would be greatly appreciated if you would. And let's not forget the thumbs up. And if you have other channel or other social media accounts, be sure and share this with other people. That would be great if you would. So that's me finished now, and nothing more to say but that I will be back in a day or two with another one. Until then, Slán Tamil.